Dragon Ball Super is ending. Well, for now at least. You know, no one on Dragon Ball stays dead for long. But with the series wrapped up with its biggest tournament arc yet, and now with its first movie on the horizon, we're bringing you 107 more facts about Dragon Ball Super. I'm Kurt with Channel Frederator, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to become part of the notification squad.
Akira Toriyama created the whole Dragon Ball franchise, but his successor is Toyotaro. Toyotaro is the artist of the Dragon Ball Super manga. He designs many of the characters and is helping shape the story of the new series. Toyotaro started his work on the Dragon Ball series with Dragon Ball Heroes: Victory Mission, the manga adaptation of the game. After that, he was requested to be the artist of Super, and Toriyama selected him, the Oob to his Goku. Okay, well, Victory Mission was Toyotaro's first official work. Before that, he created his manga for the fan mythological Dragon Ball AF. He had to stop making it when he got hired to create the real thing. While Toyotaro follows Toriyama's look and story for Super, he still has some room to improvise, such as adding his jokes or fight choreography. In fact, a fair share of the ideas belong to him. The cover of the first Super manga, which depicts Goku surfing on a dragon, was Toyotaro's idea. He wanted an image that immediately captured the look and feels of Dragon Ball, and that's what popped into his head. That's what I call rocking the dragon. Toyotaro's favorite Saiyan form to draw is the traditional Super Saiyan. It's no surprise that he also likes to have his hand in Super Saiyan Blue, since it's almost identical, especially in a manga where there's no color. Toyotaro found the new, leaner Saiyan guy look challenging to draw. He had to capture the muscular look without adding any actual bulk, which is the exact opposite of Dragon Ball's character's usually inflated aesthetic. He's been drawing Goku since he was in school. He doodled him after breakfast, so he's got a lot of practice nailing his look. Despite taking the backseat during the production of Super, Toriyama can't resist getting his hands dirty now and then. Sometimes he'd check out the manga's progress and ask for edits, and he's not even on the payroll. It was a labor of love. According to Toriyama, Toyotaro came into his own during Super's production. For a while, it seemed he was trying to recreate the existing Dragon Ball until he found his voice and style. Both the manga and the anime are based off an outline of events by Toriyama. Because of that, the destination is the same, but the path that each medium takes sometimes differs, leading to some notable differences between the two. Stick around to hear about some of those twists and turns. Unlike the anime, which are adapted from a source manga, Dragon Ball Super's anime is considered the main product. Both sources were being worked on at the same time, though the manga eventually got further ahead and inspired some of the material for the anime. Allegedly, Toriyama's outline of the series entirely detailed the story from beginning to end. However, the production team revealed that the draft doesn't have an ending. Toriyama wrote as far as the Tournament of Power, but didn't wrap the story all up. Let's be real, sometimes Toriyama has goofy ideas. He pulled a George Lucas and explained why some people could go Super Saiyan more easily than others. It's thanks to their S cells, a biological trait that makes more people more super. So sorry, no matter how much you clench your fists and scream, you're probably not going to go Super Saiyan. Back in Dragon Ball Z's Saiyan saga, Goku's power level surpassing 9,000 was madness.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
Since then though, the scaling has raised so much absurdly higher that Toriyama had to adjust it for inflation. Now, if Goku is a 6, then Beerus is a 10, and Whis is a 15. Since the power scaling of Dragon Ball Super has gotten so out of control, with Goku and Vegeta literally in God tier now, the series has begun to focus on the importance of strategy in a fight. You can't always brute force your way to victory. Master Roshi's inclusion as a Universe 7 representative was a particular source of confusion for fans. According to the producers though, it's Master Roshi's unprecedented success in combat that qualified him to compete rather than power alone. When Sean Schemmel learned that he'd be returning to the role of Goku after so long, his first thoughts were, oh wow, more screaming. Brace those vocal cords, Sean. The character on the money that Hercule gives Goku in episode 1 is Robo Toriyama, Akira Toriyama's robotic anime avatar. Christopher Sabat's favorite line from Dragon Ball Super is Vegeta's declaration to an octopus in episode 8.
I will eat your entire race.
In episode 15, Goku gets hit by Hercule but forgets his tractor and drops down to grab it. The line used in the English dub was an outtake by Sean Schemmel, but they ended up using it. When Krillin fights Nappa in the Forest of Terror, he smacks him in the face with the same high kick that he used when the two fought in Dragon Ball Z. If you've ever made an anime theme song your ringtone, don't worry, Krillin is right there with you. His tone in episode 20 is from another anime, One Piece. In episode 30, Majin Buu is reading a comic book about another Majin. Nekomajin, who happens to be another Akira Toriyama creation. Battle of the Gods reignited the Dragon Ball franchise as we know it, but it may not have if not for Toriyama. He was unhappy with the original script, so he stepped in and made significant changes to Super Saiyan God and Beerus, resulting in the world we know today. In our last 107 Dragon Ball Super Fact video, we noted that Beerus claimed to have wiped out the dinosaurs, despite there still being dinosaurs all over Dragon Ball Z. Fans speculate that Beerus did cause the dinosaurs to go extinct, but Arale from Dr. Slump may have fixed it when she went back in time and pushed a meteorite back into space, which still doesn't quite explain where Beerus was involved, but it's the best answer we got. Toriyama straight up forgot about Super Saiyan 2 during Battle of the Gods. He thought the transformation escalated from Super Saiyan straight to Super Saiyan 3. Must be the hair. While working on Battle of the Gods, Toriyama drew Android 18 with purple hair instead of blonde hair. It had to be pointed out to him that he colored it wrong. Hey, seeing in black and white does do that to you. It's not the only time Toriyama has gotten himself in a hairy situation. He changed future Trunks' hair to blue in Super so that he'd look more like Bulma's son, even though present-day Trunks still had purple hair. There's a theory among fans that all the colored Super Saiyan forms, gold, red, blue, rose, and green, correspond to the chakras. Despite grand theories like this, the reasoning for the blue hair can be boiled down to a simple creative choice. Super Saiyan God was red, so Toriyama decided to make the next form blue. Because of colors? Super Saiyan Blue was almost Super Saiyan White. The color was proposed for the new form, but Toriyama said no because he had already given white hair to a different antagonist. It's likely he was referring to Zamasu, the villain of the next saga. For Resurrection F though, Toriyama needed some outside inspiration. When he found the song F by Maximum the Hormone, which is about Frieza, he realized that the character's popularity was enough to warrant a return. The song appeared in Resurrection F during one of the battle scenes. It was Toriyama's idea to adapt Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F into Dragon Ball Super. He was worried that kids may not have seen the movies and would have no idea who Beerus and Whis were. Yamcha's meme-worthy DBZ death gets parodied in Super's baseball episode. He ends up in the same pose, only this time he scores a home run instead of dying. That's redemption. Mosco's design is nearly identical to another character's, Lude from Dragon Ball GT. Lude was referred to as a god of destruction in GT, so the illusion must be on purpose. Copy Vegeta from the Universe 6 saga is voiced by Brian Drummond, who voiced the original Vegeta in the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z. Besides their cool names, Frost and Frieza have another similarity. Their voice actors are brothers. Chris Ayres voiced Frieza and Greg Ayres played the role of Frost. Sadly, the two didn't get to work together because Chris had to step away from the role due to his life-threatening COPD. The part was picked up by Damian Mills. Mills has made a point though that the role still belongs to Ayres. His work was strictly meant to emulate and fill in the gaps for Ayres and not replace him. In 2015, King Kai's voice actor Joji Yanami departed from Super for medical reasons. His absence explains why King Kai disappeared off the show too. It was out of respect for Yanami's health. Bulma's Japanese voice actor, Hiromi Suru, sadly passed away late in 2017 from an illness. She'd been voice acting the character since her first appearance in Dragon Ball in the 1980s. Goku Black was Toriyama's go at an evil copy of the hero, like fake Kamen Rider. His name also originated from Kamen Rider Black. Gohan's role in the Universe 6 and Future Trunks sagas is way less prevalent in the manga than in the anime. Since the manga can't afford to do filler, that means that Gohan's appearances in the anime are mostly just there to fill space. When Future Trunks arrives in the present, he attacks Goku just like he did in the Cell saga of DBZ. Just like last time, Goku catches the blade. It's a nearly identical callback. Even though Future Trunks is an icon of the franchise, Toriyama came up with this saga to mix things up. Introducing an evil god character when all the gods had previously been kind raised the stakes and the tension of the series in a much needed way. Trunks' time machine pays homage to one of the most famous time machines of all time, the DeLorean from Back to the Future. It appears to be run by a flux capacitor. The most challenging scene for Toyotaro was in the Future Trunks saga. It's when Mai gets hit, Bulma dies, and Goku Black is revealed. I imagine the scene was no cakewalk for Trunks either. Trunks' Supreme Kai training, for instance, was one of Toyotaro's ideas and was not present in Toriyama's outline. Vegeta was never intended to be in the Future Trunks arc. Toriyama didn't include it as part of his outline since he figured they'd never want to do it again. However, the power of fan service was stronger this time, and he was convinced to include the fusion. In Toriyama's draft, Vegeta wasn't even necessary to defeat Zamasu. That's because Zamasu was actually weak. Goku and Vegeta just had to team up to stop him. No fusion involved. According to Toyotaro, Zamasu is a more compelling villain than Dragon Ball has ever seen because he's not entirely evil. His warped sense of justice makes his side more understandable. According to a side story in the manga, Trunks was going to stay in the present after defeating Zamasu. However, after speaking to Gohan after seeing the new future, he decided to leave. Toriyama credits Toyotaro with the execution of the future Trunks saga. According to him, he would have had no idea how to express the psychology of Trunks and Zamasu's conflict on the page. That's why all of his villains were so outwardly malicious. When Goku and Bulma first met in Dragon Ball, she hit him with her car. The same exact meeting happens in episode 71 of Dragon Ball Super. After Piccolo and Gohan's training session in episode 88, they feast on an old favorite of theirs, dinosaur tail. This is the same meal they ate together when they were training back in the early days of DBZ. While Goku is waiting for Baba to return in episode 94, he reenacts the battle he had with his grandpa Gohan in the exact same spot in Dragon Ball. I'm not crying. You're crying. Toriyama's main idea for the Tournament of Power saga is that it would be 80 people fighting in a jumble. Easier said than done. The production team has stated that working on an arc like the Tournament of Power is fun, but keeping track of all the characters involved is daunting. The Tournament of Power saga takes place in the year 780. Which is the same year that Trunks derived from in the Cell Saga. While the androids killed Gohan in the alternate future, now they've teamed up to save their universe. When Piccolo and Android 17 meet again in episode 94, they go through the same motions they did when they fought in the Cell Saga. Piccolo takes off his hat and Android 17 rolls up his sleeves. This time, however, they shake hands instead of throwing fists. Goku and Android 17 never actually met before the Universe Survival Saga. In fact, 17 got eaten by Cell back in Dragon Ball Z while Goku was off training. During the Universe Survival arc, there was a pitch for 17 and 18 to fuse into Android 35. However, the two did fuse in Dragon Ball Fusions, becoming Android 17-18. The Tournament of Power begins on the 3,135,563rd day of the era of our king, meaning Zeno has ruled for 8.6 million years. Haven't they ever heard of term limits? Like most Dragon Ball characters, the warriors from across the universes all have puns for names. Universe 2 is named after meat, Universe 3 is named after Italian dishes, and Universe 4 seems to be named after plants. 9 is spices, 10 is periodic elements, 11 is kitchenware, and 6 is kind of a mess. Universe 2's Jimenza looks more like the Yard Rats from the anime filler rather than Toriyama's conventional Yard Rat design for Dragon Ball Online. This creative choice was probably made for continuity's sake, even if the continuity is fluff. The Universe 3 warrior, Kato Pezla, is a homage to Kamen Rider. Besides both characters being cyborgs, they can also change their forms, and also share a similar taste in belts. According to Toyotaro's original designs, Universe 11's Belmont and Makarita were intended to be lovers. Toriyama wasn't into it though, and nixed the romantic angle. Ribrianne's full transformation was her original design by Toriyama. The anime team, however, decided to add her cute base form for contrast. As a result, Brienne doesn't appear in the manga because that idea wasn't part of their outline. Many of Brienne's moves are reminiscent of Toei's other magical girl series, Pretty Cure. Her introduction, signature attack, and even her hairpieces are homages to that show. Toriyama suggested that Toppo should be the god of destruction for Universe 11. Seemingly having a god of destruction mode was part of that as well. The separate god of destruction mode became the distinction between the anime and the manga. In the anime, it was part of a reveal of his godly status. In the manga, it was known to be him. Fans have pointed out that Zerbuto, Robinra, and Zerloin all appeared to be based off villains in Dragon Ball GT, specifically Dr. Mew, Hachiyak, and General Rildo, respectively. Toppo, Jiren, and Dispo were all designed by Toriyama. Their personalities, however, as well as their fellow teammates, were left for the animators to worry about. Toriyama pictured Jiren as a stoic character with a tragic backstory. The anime production team, however, envisioned him as a campier, justice-obsessed warrior. When Toriyama informed them of his dead family, they shifted that personality over to Toppo. Because the animators intended for Jiren to have Toppo's personality, it's apparently him in the preview trailers of the arc. By the time the saga aired, the figure had changed to Toppo. Dispo's personality wasn't determined until they casted his voice actor. Based on that, they adapted his cocky persona. The rest of the Pride Troopers were also absent from Toriyama's outline. The animators designed these characters at Toei. Kale wasn't in the original Dragon Ball Super outline. It was actually the anime staff who created Kale after discussing Broly's popularity. They made the character a woman though, to differentiate her from the legendary Super Saiyan. Caulifla was the afterthought too. After Kale was created, Toriyama added Caulifla to go along with her. Master Roshi's strategy of bleeding all over the invisible fighter is gnarly, but it's not the first time it worked. Back in Dragon Ball, he did the same thing to reveal Yamcha's invisible opponent. Frieza has a habit of dramatically returning after a fake-out death. When it appears he was knocked out by Toppo during the Universe Survival Saga, he made a significant return in the same pose he did after a similar fake out back in Dragon Ball Z. When Frieza shares some of his energy with Goku, it's an exact role reversal of what Goku did after their fight in Dragon Ball Z. Man, this saga loves callbacks, huh? This callback scene wasn't part of Toriyama's plan either. It's just another case of anime showrunners fleshing out their side of the story with fan-servicing callbacks. Like the conflict with Zamasu, Goku's battle with Jiren was meant to be more complicated than good versus evil. Toriyama wanted it to be about clashing ideas, where neither side was wrong. The language of the gods is just backward. Even the English dub takes the backwards Japanese and translates it as backwards English. Ultra Instinct compares to real-life martial art technique, Mushin. This practice is noted for the user's absence of ego, which Goku displays during combat by not allowing himself to become a victim of teasing. The Japanese name of the Ultra Instinct form can't entirely translate into English, but it means something to the effect of the secret of the body moving on its own. The show chose the word instinct to capture this seamless sensation. Not even Goku's Ultra Instinct form was safe from being memed. The impossibly fast reflexes of the transformation become the basis of a bunch of clips using the same music and slow-mo. The producers are staying tight-lipped about the future of the franchise, but they do feel like Toriyama is using the Universe Survival Saga to open up more potential stories. The Universe Survival Saga is the longest in Dragon Ball history, as it lasts for over a year. For April Fool's Day 2017, Toei announced the Society Survival arc, an arc about the Dragon Ball characters facing the ultimate peril of getting real jobs in an economic crisis. With the conclusion of the Universe Survival Saga, fans got worried that Super finished for good. Even the voice actors commented on its end. The producers have indicated that the series isn't gone forever though, and may be back in some way soon. If Dragon Ball Super is over, let's do a final score. Over the course of 3 years, 131 episodes of Super were aired, spanning 5 sagas. For comparison, Dragon Ball ran 153 episodes over 9 major sagas. DBZ ran for 291 episodes over 9 as well. And GT ran for 64 episodes over 4 sagas. It would be one of the shortest running Dragon Ball shows. It lasted just under 3 years. Less than Dragon Ball and Z, but still more than Kai. Or not, even though the anime is done for now, it'll be back on December 14th with a brand new movie, the 20th Dragon Ball feature film. The film will also be the first under the Dragon Ball Super title. While Battle of Gods and Resurrection F were adapted into Super, those movies were released under the name Dragon Ball Z. The movie, which was written by Toriyama, will not only explore more of the Saiyan mythology, but will also feature a long-awaited opponent. Any speculation? It's possible that the movie will be about the first Super Saiyan God. A tale to tell it in an interview with Toriyama. According to the discussion, a good-hearted Saiyan named Yamashi became the first Super Saiyan, frightening the other Saiyans. They killed him, and now they say his spirit continues to wander to this day. Don't expect to see Bardock in the movie though. If Toriyama's story is any sign, then the film is going to make episode of Bardock completely non-canon. Probably for the best. The change in art direction is thanks to designer Tadayoshi Yamamuro's lack of involvement in the film. Instead, Nanahiro Shitani will take over, providing a more fluid, less detailed look for the characters. The animators of Dragon Ball are undoubtedly big fans of the movie's redesigns. The crew has praised them for being far more animation friendly and closer to the style of the series from back in the day. For your continued Dragon Ball fix, there's an upcoming manga called Dragon Ball, That Time I Got Reincarnated as Yamcha, about a fan who does just that. Somehow, it's not an April Fool's joke. This is real, and this is happening.
I'm Kurt, and thanks for watching 107 more facts about Dragon Ball Super. What are your hopes for the future of the series? Comment down below and let us know. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to become part of the notification squad. If you want to see more videos like this, consider supporting us on Patreon, where we post sneak peeks about new pilots, behind the scenes footage, extended creator interviews, and more. And remember, Frederator loves you.